Hi, everybody. Sean McCarty here from Stockton, California. I just want to give some tips and tricks here today on building the portfolio for the Cal Water H2O project. A big chunk of this project is going to be breaking it up into manageable chunks that you can do in the classroom. Collaboration is a really big piece for the project, and I think it's going to look completely different, now with our digital learning and distance learning programs, but teachers will be able to really use that technology to help implement and have the students report back for the project. By working in groups using either Google Meets or Zoom, there's always opportunities for collaboration. You can chunk the students up. Each student group could be working on a piece of the project. If you pull up the portfolio, you'll know that there are different pieces to it. We usually worked as a group on a piece, and then the students were able to kind of break apart using their own knowledge, using their own activities that they were doing to incorporate our project in our regular learning. In the other videos, we talked about the standards, how you can use NextGen and GSS, how you can use your Common Core ELA standards, as well as the ITSE standards. Building the portfolio is really where you're showing how you combined all of those. It is a student-centered project, so make sure that your students really are helping to build the portfolio, because that is part of the rubrics. Another big suggestion is to really look at that rubric as well. I printed the rubrics for each of the sections and then gave the rubrics to the students while they were building that part of the project. It really gave them the power to look at what we are looking for and then make sure that they incorporated that into the chunk. And then we build it all together using Google Slides. I do recommend, if you're going to use video, that you either link the actual video and put a little thumbnail of it. I know a couple years we've done like a little thumbnail yearbook with a bunch of different videos throughout the project, or you could do a big class video. Just make sure, the size of the portfolio and the amount of slides does get specific. So if you are running out of space, you might want to do one page with lots of different thumbnail links to those videos. Do make sure that your videos the sharing permissions are edited. It needs to be able to be viewed by anybody with the link. And then just make sure in your drive that you don't ever delete that video, or not for a while, so that it could still be viewed. The other big tip that we have been learning throughout the last couple of years of doing the project is to make sure that you are taking pictures throughout the project instead of waiting till the very end and then you get a mad rush of, I needed pictures of how we started the project. So take your pictures throughout the project. If you even put them into a file at the very beginning, you'll have them all in one spot, and then you can use them in the portfolio as needed. So it's a really fun project. I think it's a great way to incorporate all the standards. You use the student collaboration, and the students get to build some kind of a evidence-based piece. So good luck. We have lots of questions. We'll be here to help you this year. And these are just a couple tips and tricks on the portfolio. Thank you.
Creating your project and portfolio can really feel like a daunting task. So I have some tips to help you start out. The first thing I would do is really think about creating a calendar that you can use to help your backwards planning. And then when you let students know about this project, really give them that ownership. Let them take the lead, and give them the opportunity to really create this project. And after giving them the opportunity to create a list of project ideas that they might like, allow them that ownership and allowing them to vote as well. When you're creating this calendar, create a realistic timeline for yourself to complete all of the steps, and really add in those steps specifically to each one of those days, giving yourself some cushion of time if you need it. I do recommend to be able to accomplish everything you might want to out of your project, to create breakout groups in your classroom, and that might be based in whatever small group work you might need for them to do to be able to accomplish the overall project. And also, again, let students take control. It's a guided control. You're giving them the guidance that they need, but you're really giving them that buy-in by having them in charge. An example of this would be, often as teachers, we want to edit their work. Let's not do that. Maybe give them ownership and say, find one of the students that you have who's strong in their editing skills and have them as the class editor. Really give them that ownership. Be sure that you take pictures along the way. Pictures are vital. Little video clips, they're vital because you can't go back and recreate that without it feeling really false. So as you go each step of the way, take some video, take some pictures. And then, the biggest piece of advice I could give would be to use the rubric as your guide to make sure that you are completing every step of the process. And as you go, do parts of the portfolio so that you are not waiting till the very end to complete it, because at that point, it can take quite a bit of time. There's a lot in that portfolio that can be done as you're going. So those would be my basic tips, but now we're going to be dealing with distance learning, possibly. And so some of the tips I have as far as distance learning go is, start with mini lessons for science that are related to your topic. Use Google to your advantage. Using Google Docs, each student in a group can work and have them each use a different font color to represent what they're adding to the presentation or to the work. Have the kids work on a Google slideshow and each student can take a different slide, and that's where their work gets represented. You can have Google Forms used as a way for voting to be done in a really fair way without kids knowing who's voting for what. And then you can do small group meetings over Zoom or Google Meets or whatever program you're using to be able to still do group work. Since the groups can't necessarily meet together in real life, maybe this project is more of a conceptual design. Maybe the group is creating models that can be worked together. Maybe these models are graphic models, on the computers. They can think about projects that would work in real life, but maybe they're not able to do them currently because we aren't able to get together. So there's a lot of room for opportunity in unique projects this way. Good luck.